Hey! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As usual, right here from Pixonic headquarters, Stan. You're the very same Stan that you all know. Today we decided to make a dev stream. We haven't such things for a while, and there was a reason why. And there is a reason why this dev stream is different from all the others. Well, first of all, we've got Tofsla here, but that's not a different thing, although we all love him. But
another thing,
yeah,
I'm a person.
That's the usual stuff. But an important thing is that we've got a new studio. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new streaming studio in Pixonic. So yeah, we just moved here. Actually, it wasn't a very long journey, because we moved from another level, yeah?
From another floor, right?
From another floor, yeah, exactly. From the 5th to the 4th. But still, we've got a much more room here, and we've got a big green screen.
I mean, this place is much more flexible than what we had before. We can fit more people here, and we can change the background.
I'm not sure we won't, but yeah, we can fit more people. We can discuss with them different things. We can invite not only one game designer or one designer, or maybe
try
2, 3.
Fit all game designers here
in one room.
Yes, we can try. I mean,
know,
how many game designers you can fit
exactly.
in one room?
There is a riddle how many angels you can fit on one needle point. So how many game designers you can fit in one dev stream
How many game designers you need to
actually this thing
install the
behind me, I like it very much. It's a green screen. We can use it when we have something.
Now it's actually green.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, look, like it's green.
Actually, that's that's something you can see under a microscope.
Yeah. We're very tiny. We're not like regular people. We're tiny people, and we need like proper.
We need a proper camera. You know this movie from the 90s, Honey, I Shrinked Our Kids, something like
this. Yes.
Yeah.
It was called "Дорогая, я уменьшил детей."
Yeah. That's how it was called in Russia. Oh, these 90s comedies from the 90s.
Great time.
Yeah,
actually, it's not a Robots Devstream. We're going to talk about movies, cooking, and all the other stuff.
Yeah, why not? Because we're really into this stuff, and it's time for us to share it with you and time for us to discuss it with you.
Okay, screw video games. Let's talk about cookies and something else. Anyway!
Just kidding. We will have some play, but we've got a chill stream tonight. We've got some flex. We've got to use this background to try different backgrounds. And by the way, you can tell us in the comments which backgrounds do you want. Maybe. Oh, and right now we're flying like.
No, we're going to fly right.
We are flying already.
No, we're flying on a different screen. No, we are?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay, we're actually flying, okay.
Well, I'm flying at least, I don't know how about you.
Sen!
The only problem with this dev stream room is that although it's pretty big, there is no air conditioning in here. We already know that it's pretty hot, and it will get hotter and hotter, and not because of us. Because of us, not. But
we are one of. There are many factors, and we are one of those factors.
So we've got like 40 minutes, an hour max, and then we will get out of air. So we have to work fast, and we have to work effective.
Or yes, if we don't, this stream might turn into like some kind of like public execution stream.
Oh, the last dev stream.
This was like a really big part of entertainment back then, like in the good old days. I hope we won't get to that part.
Yeah, like. Historical views. Alright, and we've got a giveaway today, but we decided that we want, from now on, another type of giveaways on our official dev streams. Yes? So the main reason is that during our dev streams, in the chat, there is chaos, and all the people spamming their IDs, and sometimes YouTube blocks for it.
Yes.
So people can be banned.
But the key issue that this
like
ID spam is something that actually stops us and you guys from having like. I mean, look, I'm in the clouds. It looks like very cheesy, but I like it. Anyway, I mean, when there's so much spam going in the comments, there's not much way for a proper conversation. You guys can talk between each other. We can't actually properly have a proper conversation with you, and so on and so forth. So we're trying to encourage you to have a proper conversation, and so instead of doing a random giveaway, we're going to do it another way. So tell us about it.
Yeah, we decided that we want to have a lovely discussion, a lovely conversation with you, and that you guys can discuss things with each other. So from now on, we will give leeches or different other robots, new robots.
Today we're going to give away leeches.
Who will have good questions and whose questions we will read. Of course, we will try. Not all the questions we will see because the chat is running so fast.
I mean, even if the question is bad and we still read it,
yeah,
I mean,
will still receive
there
a
is
leech.
just one condition. If we read if we read your
question during the stream and you left your ID, that's important as well.
Yes.
Because, you know, even if you've got a very good question and we really loved it and we're in the wild right now, animals running in the background, and, you know, there should be like a voiceover of a guy like working in zoo for last 50 years, and now we can see a male running for a female.
I mean, you already have a cooking channel, so you're going to go like full
yeah,
David
that's
Attenborough
true,
after
that's
that.
true, yeah, we just released like a couple of weeks ago and it was pretty
Stand
fun.
stable on YouTube, check it out.
Thanks Tofsla. But yeah, so maybe one day we will have a zoo channel, a robot zoo channel. Like, and now you can see small Natasha.
Just don't spread yourself like too thin. I mean, you're doing too many things at once. But I mean, if you're true Renaissance man, after all, we're trying to talk about history here. If you're true, like Leonardo da Vinci kind of man, like what kind of person Leonardo da Vinci would be? Like
a turtle.
He would be a robot, basically.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Leo.
Old Leo, the robot.
Leo, yeah. That's true. All right, so back to the giveaway. Spam your questions in the chat.
Don't spam, just leave them and we'll
just leave them and leave your ID with the question. We will choose some of them. Of course, we can't read all of them, but we will try to choose the best we can, I mean, and not the best questions, but the best questions as well.
We read the question, you get the leech. That's simple. So, what we're going to do today?
I think we will have, well, except having this glorious, magnificent background with Rhino. Actually, that's a Rhino, and that's a... We've got a Rhino here, and we've got a Rhino in the game.
We don't have a monkey robot yet, but this one... I mean, people who know something about animals, they can say that this is not a monkey, this is some kind of other thing, but okay. Let's try and play some War Robots, shall we?
Exactly, let's play some War Robots. After all, it's a War Robots channel, so we really should play some. And now we've got a... Wow, that's just fantastic. So we right here sitting on a coach. And
we're sitting on the coach in Hangar.
Yeah, you know what? We told you that we're gonna have a Hangar renovation, so here it is. You've got a coach for yourself, sitting under your robots, choosing like you like go to the shop and no this one.
Now you have. Yes, like, let's try to interact with this thing.
Yeah, like.
Which one? This one? Okay.
Mommy, I want this one, but hey, we've got this at home. But I want another one. Hey, Johnny, it's not Christmas yet.
I mean, I'm trying to set up a joke and try to blah, blah, blah. No, I don't have a destroyer, but okay. Anyway,
let's go right into the battle.
Your Hangar has been upgraded, and now you have me and
Tofsla and Stan in your hangar. Yeah.
Let's go and play some Beacon Rush.
Beacon Rush.
And
Rush for bacon.
I'll be trying to play. Stan will try to read your questions.
Read your questions,
and
to communicate with you. And I think it will work.
Figure out something.
Yeah, by the way, I think it's the best time for me to take this
I'm going
laptop.
to start the blitz.
And oh my, running like hell.
So we have landed on the moon and I've opened the match with Blitz. I'm going to join the guys. I think I'll try to contest the middle point. At least we'll try to harass people from there, but it's not a good idea probably because there are two of them, but I'm alone. But I waited over the Ares, or not Ares, I mean Pantheon shield, so I can try and at least do some damage. And now I've been locked down, but this was still a pretty good trade to me. I think it was a really good trade.
Alright, I think I can begin with the questions. I've got a couple of, and I will continue taking them from the chat. The first one, DJ KLB. Stan and Tofsla, when are the community paint jobs coming to the game?
I can respond to this question. Actually,
okay. Shoot it.
Two of them, I believe it's Queen of Spades and one another. I don't quite remember which one. They're going to arrive with update 5.6 in the battle operations.
Yeah.
So you're going to get them
the closest
from
update 5.6. There will be 2 community paint jobs released.
and they're going to be released with season 3 of operations.
Yes. So with the operations, not with the update itself, but when the operations will appear.
Actually, yeah, it's like pretty simultaneously when the New Year event starts or Christmas event starts, and the next season of operations, it will be around that time.
Yeah. And the other thing,
Yes.
the other 2 I think they will appear in the beginning of the next year.
Yes, 2 other 2
Yeah, so
they're
there
going
were
to be
4,
released.
2 will come in the closest update.
Right now they're set for release in 5.7, I believe.
Yeah, so right after 5.6, yeah. Sounds pretty reasonable.
I'm going to die here, okay?
Yep, feel free.
Yes, okay, thank you.
Texas asks, Tejas, really sorry, when there will be cross-platform play? Actually, I can answer this question. It's a very good one, and I know the best moment and the best place where we will answer it. First time we were talking about it, we talked a lot about it on our dev streams, but first time we mentioned it on Ask Stan episode 1.
Yes.
And right now we're preparing Ask Stan episode 2, and there was a question, the same one. I've already got an answer, so we will record it pretty soon. And wait for the Ask Stan episode 2. You will hear the answer. We've got one, and I think you will like it.
Okay.
All right, the next one. Which Titan is probably the best one?
Oh, it depends. I mean, I'd say that Arthur and Ao Ming, they're pretty on the same level, but they fulfill different roles. For example, I mean, it's pretty obvious that Titans, even though they're like completely different type of robots, they have the same type of, they have a same set of roles as regular robots. So like tank, damage dealer, and so on. And if we take Arthur and Ao Ming, they're like 2 completely different playstyles, so you can choose between these 2.
Yeah.
So one is more of a defender, and another is more of a like going all in and let's kill them all, and maybe try to do some flying stuff.
I can agree on it totally. So it really depends on your playstyle and what kind of gameplay you prefer. Mm-hmm. All of them are pretty brutal. All of them are pretty cool, and it really depends on what kind of
gameplay you prefer.
Fighting gameplay you prefer. Yeah, exactly. For me, for example, I really love. I'm not really into flying things. I'm into healing things, but we don't have a repairing Titan as for now. So I think my choice will be Arthur. Although it's pretty slow, but it's very bulky, it's very heavy, it's very big. And I like the story of the Knights of the Camelot.
Yeah.
So that's another reason.
And I actually want to highlight another thing. This is very important. That you can do quite a lot on Kid as well, because it is not as versatile as, for example, Ao Ming, but it can, in the right hands, it can do a lot of damage. It can be really scary.
It has a lot of firepower, yeah. So Ao Ming is more about flying around, having the best opportunities from the air. Arthur is more about being bulky, heavy, and having lots of shields around.
Could you please die?
And
thank you.
Billy the Kid is all about, howdy, partner. I'll shoot you right in the face.
It's like very straightforward. It's like if you take some kind of like strategy games, there are usually multiple races like orcs, elves, and so on, and there are humans. And Kid in our case is like traditional like human all the way down.
Lots of questions about Titans. There are lots of questions.
Actually, Titans are going to release very soon, so we might want
that's
to
exactly the question I wanted
more.
to read. When are Titans coming? Lots of questions like that. So. Are we ready to talk about it?
I'm ready for everything. I mean, since we're here on the dev stream, I'm ready for every single thing. Grill me.
I think that, as we've already told you a couple of times on our previous dev streams, oh gosh.
It's like Backstream Boys.
Dev stream boys.
It's us.
Like Dev stream boys.
I mean, we already have a cooking channel, we plan to do a zoological channel, and we also plan to make
like
a music channel.
Yeah. Why not? Riot can do it, why can't we do it?
Yes.
Exactly. So, back to the Titans. We were planning to release Titans this year, and these plans remain. So as for now, we want to release Titans this year, and as it is the end of November right now,
yes,
you can guess it. So not much of an option here.
Okay, I'm done.
why can't you release Titan into battle at the beginning of a battle? That's actually a good question. I really like it.
Do you want to answer it? I mean, I can answer it.
Okay,
you can answer
go.
it. I mean, there's a simple reason. Titans, as they're balanced and as they were conceived, this is some kind of like some sort of like trump card or ultimate ability that you can use in some particular situation. This is not something you open the match with. This is something that you use to affect the current state of the match. I mean, when everyone opens with the Titan, this is like very boring actually, and you could see this on early test server sessions. It is much more interesting when you have to consider when to actually drop the Titan. You can do this earlier than others if you show really great results during the match. Or you can do it after everyone has spawned their Titan. So if we add this little bit of like consideration with Titan readiness meter, from our experience and from all the other our experience and our like experience with other games as well, this is something that adds a lot of depth to the game, basically.
That's true, yeah, that's true. So the simple answer and the short answer, that's because of the gameplay possibilities. We don't want to... You could have seen it on the test server the first time we released Titans, and there was no Titan readiness meter, and people were spamming Titans right from the beginning of the match.
I mean, it's like everyone drops the Titans, then they die, and then, okay, no Titans here. So
okay, and now like back to the basic robots.
So Titan is basically like culmination of each match. I mean, the high point, the peak, the moment when things like really get serious. And when things get serious at the beginning of the match, and then it's all like not as cool as it could be.
Right, the next question. Again, Titan. Oh, there's one. Raven Gamer asks, hey Stan and Tofsla, what will happen when your girlfriends find you're flirting with Linda Kano and Olga Minina?
I mean, this is a hypothetical question, right?
Yeah, because how will they find out?
Yes, they won't.
Oh, that's a dirty little secret between us.
I mean... Okay, what was the question again? I'm kind of
Tofsla doing his best.
I'm trying. Anyway,
that's another. There is another good question. Disconnect written with the 150. All right, disconnect. Just disconnect. Any skins for Titans? I think it would be awesome.
Not yet.
Not yet, but that's actually a great idea, and I think that having a giant thing, I don't know, maybe. What skins can we imagine right now? I don't know. Maybe have a ghost skin on Naomi. You know, this huge, like stereotypical. Shape ghost flying in the air with two eyes.
I believe the first thing that comes to mind is like Deathwing Aoming, because Deathwing Aojun was like a huge hit, and making the Deathwing but bigger, why not? The thing is, we definitely want to make paint jobs or like special editions of Titans in the future.
Yeah.
We don't start with them, but we will do them later on. Can't give you any dates or details at this point, but this is something we actually really...
That's a great idea, we're really into it, because we're really hyped about different paint jobs, new paint jobs and new versions of robots. You probably noticed it this year, so we really... our designers really did a great job, and actually we've already seen some paint jobs for the upcoming year and remodels for the upcoming, and it was just perfect. Yeah, so you will see it pretty soon.
Actually there was another thing that we wanted to implement with Titans, is that when you level them up they get new visual features, like new armor pieces and so on and so forth. This is something that we actually really actively consider as well.
Yep, that's true. Stan, do you think with the upcoming Shocktrain buff it will become part of the meta again? That's a good question. So the situation with Shocktrain is quite interesting, as all of you know, or most of you know. Shocktrain was dominating the battlefield like a year and a half ago. It was lots of you guys were telling us about, and if you go to the community, if you went into the community at that time, basically the complaints everywhere, there were comments about Shocktrain. Nerf the Shocktrains, nerf the Shocktrains.
And it was actually pretty, I mean, they were kind of right.
Well, Shocktrain as a weapon was pretty straightforward, and it hit not just one person, but persons or players around, so you had to think it was too difficult, I think, for playing, because you had to think not just for yourself, but look out for other players and for your teammates not to be around when there is a Shocktrain in the other team. It was pretty hard. Well, frankly speaking, it was pretty difficult. So we, in different iterations, we nerfed Shocktrains, and right now we decided that with the today's meta, with new robots and new weapons, Shocktrains got nerfed too bad. So we wanted to give it a little bit of seasoning, a little bit of taste, just to brush it up. We don't want Shocktrain to dominate the battlefield once more.
Like as hard as it was
like
before.
yeah, as hard as it was a year ago or so. But we want it to be viable.
We want it to be competitive, want it to be viable, so yes, I think we're actually buffing it up to the level as it was before the nerf, the last one. But in the current meta, in the current situation, this is like a very different Shocktrain. This should feel like very different, because what shapes the weapon, not just the weapon itself, but also what is played around. So we had released...
You know, you sound like some kind of a Chinese philosopher, like...
We are going to open a philosophy channel as well at some point.
200 years before dawn.
But yeah, since the nerf of Shocktrain, we had the Pantheon robots, we had Ragnarok robots.
Yeah, we had
the
tons
flyers.
of things going on. Yeah.
Tofsla things.
Tofsla things going on.
Just Tofsla things.
Eternal Gamma. When we will have an MK3?
Hopefully never.
Yeah, we don't have MK3 right now in the plans, and actually we just dropped a huge thing.
This is something that we forgot to mention.
And I think that's the best moment to talk about it.
Yes, let's talk.
And then they stay silent for the rest of the stream. So, we were looking at our MK2 and we were thinking, something's fishy here, something's wrong. And then we got that it's a little bit unpleasant then when you're going from MK111 to MK21.
Yes.
Your power drops a lot. So after time, after leveling up, it goes back, but you have to... You really feel that you have to upgrade your weapon once again from the zero. So, and we don't want you to feel it when you're going from one level to another. There shouldn't be such a drop in the power.
Yes, basically when you upgrade your weapon from level 12 MK1 to level 1 MK2, you for like 9 or 10 levels this weapon becomes worse than it was before.
Yeah, so lots of players, even I know I have seen it in the community and I've tried it myself.
Yes.
Lots of players didn't upgrade their weapons because they wanted to stay competitive, and they didn't want to upgrade their weapons and play hard during these 10 or 11 levels once again.
So it's about time we address this, and like yesterday we implemented the new system, the different progression curve. We can go to the website to see some graphs and some different numbers for the upgrade times and the power progression and so on and so forth. But in general, the MK2 is now the same as it was before. In that regard, that if you take MK2 level 12 weapon, it is as strong as it was before. For example,
so
this
quite the same, as powerful as...
But if we go to this, for example, non-maxed Spectre, before, if you pressed Enhance, you would go from, like, you would start from 0. And now it's basically like level 1 MK2 is like level 30 from now on. And just to celebrate the change, we have decided to make all the item enhancement until like for four more days, until 26th of November, to cost exactly one gold. So I can just go for it and instantly receive some stat bonus to my Spectre.
Yeah, why
and
not?
Every single MK2 level increases the stat it corresponds to. I mean, the stat that is being upgraded with upgrades by 2% or something like this.
Yep. So once again, good use, good times. Everybody, right now going to MK2 doesn't decrease your firepower.
It doesn't make your weapons worse. And actually, if you had MK2 weapons with level 1 up to level 10, or even level 11, they become better, because before you had to go like all the way from here to there, and now it just continues from where you were. So just you can dust off your older weapons that you started to upgrade and don't want to use anymore, didn't want to use it anymore, and start using right away.
Yep. The next question.
Another match.
And another question. Shadow Matter. Is there any plans to introduce any melee weapons in the game?
Not at this point, but this is
not at this point. But our game designers and we discussed it a lot during our during our lunch breaks, during our going outside. Because, well, it sounds like a pretty logical step. Having not just fire weapons, but also something melee,
we have having long range, we have medium range,
yeah, why won't
close
we have,
range.
I don't know, giant swords or giant blades for our Knights of the Camelot, but not yet. So we're not ready for it.
At this point, why we don't do this right away? Because, for example, the lower
because we've got freaking Titans coming our way.
This is the first part. The second part is balance-wise, we have to design them like very tightly to make this right, because the lower the range of the weapon, the more damage it should deal. And even if you take close-range weapons, they already deal a lot of damage. And if we go by that logic and add melee weapon, they should basically one-shot Behemoth or something like this. But I mean, not that extreme.
But at the same time, I can imagine something like Phantom running around with a katana and like going full in, like.
And this like Samurai Phantom.
Yeah, and then returning to the previous point and then like.
Yes.
Sounds pretty cool.
It sounds great, but it has to have some kind of counterplay, because if you, if you have an invincible Phantom running around you, like doing some like harassing damage, this would be quite frustrating, and we want it to be great both in terms of how it feels when you play with it, and how it feels when you play against it. And this match is a slaughter.
So, balance. We really need a balance about it. Sand Killer Gaming. Stan, when will be the story mode is available to the game? Really want to play it. We really want to play it as well.
Yes.
And the first step in the direction of story mode, as we call it, was made in this year. So we introduced pilots, we introduced lore, we introduced different corporations.
We started to come up with the world.
With the story. So just a year ago, there wasn't a world of War Robots at all. I mean, from the perspective of backstory, from the perspective of lore. We're really happy that there is one now, that we know, some of them we know better, some of them we know worse, but there are heroes there are villains there are big things going around.
There's quite a bit of like power dynamics going on. There are corporations, they're doing something. What we're going to do with this next year?
Who knows?
We'll see.
Yeah, so stay tuned. But from my perspective, I don't think we will have a story mode like a mode equal to Beacon Rush or Domination or FFA, because I think story mode should be introduced with maybe each new season of operations or each new season of updates, just to be viable and actually, to receive a new piece of the story.
How do you see like yourself the story mode of War Robots? How would you like it to be?
I think it should be some kind of missions, actually. So I think it should be some kind of a progression. And you receive a new chapter, a new style of missions, a new style maybe of skirmishes connected to the story mode each couple of months with the updates. So you play, you receive this part of story, you know what has happened, but you want to know more, there may be cliffhangers as usual, and then you receive the next part and so on and so on. So I think it should be a never-ending story, like development story.
War Robots Netflix show.
Some kind of, yeah. So how I see it is some kind of series format.
Yes, and this is actually very interesting. I don't know, I really want to come back to the idea of War Robots VR. If you remember this?
Come back to the idea of Soviet times. There is a Soviet flag back there.
Well, all right. I prefer War Robots VR because.
Or I'll go with War Robots VR. Actually, yeah.
Choosing between like Soviet times and War Robots VR, I prefer War Robots VR because it's easier.
Расстрелять. Okay, next question. Alpha Sarman. Hi Tofsla, hi Stan. Can Titan
Hello.
be used in FFA mode? How will it work?
I'm not sure,
Quite
actually.
sure, yeah.
But we'll answer this question later, because I don't quite remember how it interacts with solo mode, but I believe they are playable there as well. They are not playable in skirmishes yet at this point, but we're going to fix it at some point. Not fix, address.
Going through the questions, lots of them. Oh, pom pom.
Freeze, please. Could you please freeze? Thank you. Great stuff.
Alright, so J Torres. Pixonic, good morning. Good morning to you. Yeah, actually, it's pretty late here in Moscow, in Russia.
It's here,
like,
but good morning.
Yeah, but
it's time zone differences.
Yeah. Really, you know what? That's one of the things I really love about going worldwide, about having dev streams. You talk with people all over the world, so you might be having a Friday evening night here, and at the same time there is someone just having a morning shower, morning coffee, watching your stream during this, and it's so cool. It's very cool. And the question, yeah. Pixonic, good morning. I ask you this question. Why not leave the robots with their original abilities when they came out, and the weapons with their original damage power? Thank you.
I think, you mean about
touching
the stats,
why do we
right?
have rebalancing things? And I think the main answer here is that the game is evolving. So first of all, we've got lots of new content coming out. We've got cryo weapons, we've got Loki with stealth, we've got Phantom with teleporting abilities, we've got Titans, we've got each new update basically, we've got something new gameplay possibilities. At the same time, we have skirmish, we have FFA, we have quests and operations after all.
Task, you mean?
Tasks, yeah, tasks, sorry. So, my main idea is that the game evolves, and things that were in the meta or out of the meta, they should change as well. Because if they don't change and the game changes, then they will be obsolete.
Yes.
So they should be rebalanced from time to time. Just, you know, like with the living body. You can't change, you can't grow without your cells changing from time to time. It's inevitable.
Sometimes you have to change the pants you're wearing because you got more,
you got more fat because it's winter and you eat lots of junk food.
Yes,
and then summer once again, and you have a
You can say that this is a problem for some of us.
All right.
And still, I believe the question was not just about buffs, but nerfs as well.
Yeah,
and
about rebalances
I still want to highlight that balance is hard. I mean, it works for all the games that you can see everywhere. Things change because how things behave in a real game, how they behave in the test server, or how they behave in the real game, it's like two completely different things. And as people also, what affects the performance of the robot or weapon is how well people start to use it. People sometimes start on a weaker side, they don't know how to use the weapon or robot, and then they learn some new strategies, some new ways to use that, and the thing that could seem like a completely balanced thing, it just starts to be too strong and too powerful, and so on and so forth. And unfortunately, as much as we could, as we wanted to nail this perfectly from the first time, this is completely impossible. This is like three-body problem. There are some things that cannot be predicted in any way. So we do our best to not nerf things too hard or buff things too hard, just to nerf them again.
So we're taking small steps, iteration after iteration, and see how it goes.
We're learning as we go, and I think we're going better as we go. So
I think so as well.
We're doing better
but
as we go.
You're the judge. Emmanuel, are you having thoughts of a new game mode or not? Oh, you haven't thoughts of a new game mode, like when you wake up in the morning or before you go to sleep?
This is not the first thing I think about when I wake up, or go to the last thing that I think about when I go to sleep, but I think about it right now. So, is there any chance for new modes, right?
Well, there is always a possibility, but as for now, as I can see it, our main game modes playground and place where we can, like a sandbox place where we can try different play modes. Some of them can be funny, some of them can be competitive. Is Skirmish.
Yes.
So Skirmish is not just one game mode, but a new game mode each week.
Yes, exactly.
And it's really cool. I don't even can imagine that we haven't had it back in the days.
Yes, and this is something we can try implementing new or different game modes. So, for example, King of the Hill is something that was up for rework for quite a while. We removed it from the game as it was not very popular one, and as it was not as fun as we would like it to be.
Yeah,
so we took it back for partial rework, and this is like being in the making for quite a while now. Why we don't implement it right now? Because if we add more game modes, it will separate, it will make the matchmaking queue like more thin than it is right now. I mean, there will be less people. Now we have 4 matchmaking queues, 5 if we take into account skirmishes. If we add another mode, there will be 5, and there will be like 20% less people for each mode, so it will result in longer matchmaking, it will result in worse matchmaking. So we are going to return to this topic later when we will merge the
After
platforms.
merging platforms, yeah.
So there will be more people in the queue, so we can add more queues.
We can experiment, yeah, and make more game modes.
So yes, this is the topic we're going to come back after merging the platforms, when iOS players and Android players will be able to
you
play
can ask
together.
us once again once the platforms are merged.
Tofsla, you said that you're going to talk about game modes later when you've merged the platforms. Now what? I want to hear it once, someday. I hope I will.
Bum, bum, bum.
Boom,
All right.
ta-dum. Let's go.
MRG World. How's your
Hello.
attitude, guys? Hello, how are you? How is life young?
Pretty good.
Pretty good, actually. It's pretty cold here in Moscow. Like a week ago, it suddenly became cold, and right now it's minus 10 degrees. It's pretty sunny.
Winter just started, actually.
But yeah, it's like the winter started, so that's why I decided to have a little break and go for a little vacation. I'll go to London for a week. And how about you, Tofsla?
That's a good question. I'm going to St. Petersburg because it's a great freaking city.
That's a great city, yeah, that's true. You know, people in Russia, they call Moscow like a business mother, so she's always busy, she's always on the run, she's always perfect, she's got perfect nails, perfect smile, she's always working. And St. Petersburg is more like your friendly dad. He's a little bit...
He drinks a little bit.
No, he's maybe a little bit more artistic. He's really into art, literature, maybe a little bit science. He likes spending his days observing things around, talking to people.
It's more chill. It's more. There are lots of museums. There are lots of venues and so on and so forth. Great city.
So I think you will have a good time there.
I'm sorry, I'm going to die.
Zayed Khan, are you guys going to any Black Friday discounts?
Definitely.
Yeah, well, as for me, I can say that yes, definitely, but there is only one type of things I'm going to buy, and those are books. I've already bought like 3 or 4 books and going to buy like 3 or 4 more. There are some things that I'm waiting for. Not just that I can't buy them during during the year, but it's a good time to dig into the fresh literature to see what has come out.
So are you going
English,
to
Russian.
show your haul after you?
My haul after? Sorry,
not that haul. That like the word like H-A-U-L. Haul.
All right.
Will you show what you'll buy when you'll?
Maybe.
Finish it.
Who knows? I think I have to first read it, actually. And then maybe we can discuss, because...
So, book reviews! Book
reviews coming
channel.
as well, yes.
Hello. Okay, that was pretty miserable, but this invader doesn't want to finish me off, so this is good for me. I'm just going to sit here, and try to hide and then press my repair kit.
There is a question by Alexander Andrews. Are there going to be some sort of an advent calendar in War Robots?
Probably.
Probably, yeah. That's the best answer we can give, probably.
Enjoy your Leech. Actually, yes, we're going to send all the leeches around Monday or Tuesday. So expect it by the giveaway things to arrive around that time.
Pum, 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 pum. Pro Gaming asks, will you guys ever host a fan meetup or a convention?
We really want to.
Yeah, we actually, the truth is, we've thought about it this year, and the first step in this direction actually was during our 5th anniversary birthday in April, when we invited some of our YouTubers from all over the world, like Manny Gaming, like Adrian, like Taco, so from Japan, from Europe, from America, from Canada. People going from all over the world coming to Pixonic headquarters. It was really interesting, and I hope that one day we will have some kind of...
okay, goodbye, Iris. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. I'm going to
PixonCon or Pix Convention or War Robots. Yeah, PixCon.
PandaCon.
That can be interesting.
Yes. I think if we ever go for it, it will be interesting. It will be amazing. We'll see. But this idea is something that we are really passionate about, so at some point, hopefully, we'll go for it.
Venge Gaming asks, and tags me actually by my surname, that's funny, like hashtag #StanMinasov. Can you tell when will there be something new regarding the workshop or its points and levels?
This is not something that
I don't think in the nearest time.
Yes.
So workshop works, sorry for the...
Works as a shop.
Works as a shop right now and works pretty effectively, and we allow it.
Well, you can build practically
whatever you want.
Almost every single piece of equipment from the game. Aside from a couple, we're actually going to include Phantom and Behemoth like very soon in the workshop, so stay tuned. So far it works. It doesn't ask for any changes, but if you have any ideas of what you want to see there, tell us.
Yeah. Actually, talking about Falcon, Brandon Duty asks, Stan, what are your thoughts on the T-Falcon? Will it be nerfed or buffed? That's a very good question and very interesting situations from my point of view, because what I really love about War Robots is that there are gameplay possibilities that we don't think about.
Goodbye.
But as there are lots and lots of players out there, all of them can try different things and come to some
wild combination that we didn't think about.
First. Exactly. So T-Falcon was one of the things. We can see that T-Falcon is pretty popular right now, to say the least.
Yes.
But we're not sure that we are gonna nerf it or buff it in the nearest time. So we have still to gather some data about it.
At this point, we believe that it's pretty okay as it is. And it's very affordable, and most people can use it, so it's good. Affordable in terms of time and resources that you need to build it.
Nemo, the escapist, asks, why don't you implement a mystery chest with a random chance of winning any special edition weapon of previous events?
We want to make this. For one of the events, we're definitely going to go for it. I cannot say for which one, but we want to do this.
Raiji Goms asks, is it hard to think about new names for robots and weapons? That's a good question, and the truth is that usually, well, it depends. So some robots, they come to release just with the same names they had in the beginning, when they were only planned. Some robots changed, so when we had a nostalgia stream here, when hitting 1 million subscribers on Facebook, we had Eric from game design department,
yeah.
And he told us some cool stories about development process, and one of them was that all the I guess all three of Scandinavian robots, they were planned to be called different names.
Yeah, Loki was Ratatoskr.
Ratatoskr, yeah.
Fenrir was Skjold, and Tyr was Surfing.
Yes, exactly. You remember it. Cool.
Yes.
So
I did my homework.
Yeah. Usually based on the look of the robot, based on the mythology, based on things that we know about the robot and we have in lore, we already have like a range of possibilities. Not just any name, but we can go for this, that, and this one. And an interesting thing is that when we choose name for remodeling versions of robots and weapons,
for special editions,
and for paint jobs, right now we choose it like.
We have a democracy here.
Yeah,
we have a,
exactly. We have a democracy.
Vote.
We vote for Pixonic and choose the most popular variants.
So we just bundle all the ideas together, and then we pick the ones that were most prevalent among the suggestions from the team members, and then we just have a vote, like which one is works the best for you. This is how we picked the Phantom name, for example. This is how we picked the Behemoth name. But there are actually some cases when we just don't spend any time thinking about the robot's name because it just comes naturally. So, for example, the next one that we're going to release early next year, we just came up with the name like instantly. Like it just perfect name. It just fits. It's like the one that we actually need for this one. Both from the way the robot works, both from the history it's attached.
From all perspectives.
Yes, so sometimes we just even don't have to think. But even though sometimes
you don't have to think.
Yes.
Sounds like an ad. Like a dating ad. Sometimes you don't have to think. Tinder for all your dating needs.
It's like, I think it sounds like some kind of Uber for something. Like for food or something like this. We talk about food like again.
Honey, what do you want for dinner? I don't know, maybe sushi or we'll go for pizza. Sometimes you don't have to think.
Shut up.
What robots food?
Okay, and yeah.
Delivering grilled robots to your apartment.
Even though sometimes the process of picking the right name can be really hard and take quite a bit of time, this process is one of the most fun things you can come up with when working.
It's very funny, very interesting, and it's really cool.
But Ratatoskr, I really resent losing this name. Because
Arnav Sharma asks, do you guys ever get bored playing War Robots?
I mean, you can get bored from anything.
Exactly, you can get bored from anything. And if you ask, do we play other games? Yes, we do.
Definitely.
And we love it. So we're not just like hardcore War Robots fans playing War Robots only. We really love game world in general. We love PC games, we love console games. So, for example, this weekend I'm really planning to have to dig deeply into Death Stranding, a new Hideo Kojima game.
Death Stranding,
yeah. And I know that
completed it.
Yeah, that Tofsla already completed it, and he didn't spoil it for me. So thank you for that.
I'm doing my best because I really want to discuss this game with someone, but so far I couldn't find anyone who completed it because it's like a really long game.
It's a really long game. Tofsla on Facebook and ask him questions about Death Stranding.
I can spoil it for you if you want.
Yeah.
And yes, when you work in video games, I think it's kind of like prerequisition because you don't go to develop video games without loving video games. You can go to like oil industry or accounting or something like this.
Without loving oil.
Without loving oil or without loving numbers, for example.
You can't get into massage industry without loving oil. That's true.
Yes. Stop doing this. Why you're doing this to me?
All right, the next question. Red Room Assassin. Good morning. Good morning to you as well. From start to finish, about how long does it take to create a new bot?
This is the question that you better ask our game
designers. Yeah, maybe the next time we can ask them. But
I can try give you.
Yeah,
some
we have some numbers
ideas.
like in mind. It's definitely like.
It depends on what time you take as a start of working on the robot, for example. Whether it's when we just think of it for the first time, or when
you have a concept in mind.
Yes, when you get the concept in mind, when you have the first version of design documents or something like this.
I think that from the moment that you have first concept on paper, and to the moment the robot is released in the game, usually it's like half a year.
Yeah, about so. I mean, we already have some concept for like robots that we're going to have like in half a year or more.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it
so
depends.
For
It
the
depends.
2020, yeah. So I'd say like half a year. It's just
About that, yeah.
from our practice, but then again, it's better to ask this question to game designers because they work with it every day.
I'm dead. Good news, guys.
Another question. Ronit Choundhury. Greetings, Stan and Tofsla. Greetings, Ronit.
Hello.
Where do you see the game in 3 years?
Ooh. First thing, up and running, and
Yep,
I
that's
think very
true.
different to what you see right now. It's not that I'm going to spoil anything.
Yeah, well, I can say that I can try to imagine, but the problem is that 3 years ago I couldn't imagine that there will be lots of mobile phones everywhere. There will be fast internet everywhere. You can play games with such graphics on your mobile phone. Like, what the hell? And I'm pretty sure anything I can imagine and anything I can think about will be different in 3 years, because technical progress is going too fast.
Yes.
Maybe War Robots will come into virtual reality, into AR. We were
You're
talking
still thinking about War Robots VR.
Yeah, that's true.
Or
Got me there.
Kingdom.
Maybe we will have a huge graphic update, and it will be even more beautiful. Maybe we will make a full-scale PC game out of what? So I don't really know. So I think that game will be there and it will be up and running, but how will it progress? It really depends on the game itself and on the industry in general. And industry changes as well.
Yes, and not just industry, also what you guys, what players want from the game. And what is definitely not going to change is that War Robots is going to be the game about huge walking robots, 6v6 PvP, multiplayer online game. Maybe not 6v6, maybe we're going to have like 12 on 12, maybe we're going to have 100 on 100, who knows. But the core is going to stay as it is. It is going to be a game about huge walking robots that actually feel great to control and that actually feel amazing to
There is
destroy other robots
another
with.
question from the same user. That doesn't
Sorry?
mean that your gentleman will receive 2 leeches. That's just because I really love your question. I think it should be addressed. So, Pixonic, is it true that when the Titans arrive, those of us in level 30 will have 1 for free?
Yes,
Yes, it's
you
true.
will receive kit and you will be able to play,
If you're level 30.
start using it right away.
Yeah. Sand Pounder asks, Stan, the new community bot, how will it be acquired?
We're still working out this question where we have a couple of ideas how it should be distributed properly, but
Maybe,
we will tell you about this later.
Yeah, so there are different options. We're thinking about it right now. Maybe we will use like things introduced in this year. So we've got lots of channels of distribution right now. And we
have operations, we have events, we have black market, we have regular stuff like acquiring things for gold or silver, and there are multiple possibilities how we can approach this part. The key thing here is that when we release Bolt, or how we say Volt, I say it. Nobody else say it. I mean, here in Russia we just call it Bolt. Anyway, we released it, and it was targeted at newer players, and the one that we're going to release later, actually early next year with the first update, is going to be like a more competitive, like full-fledged combat, like very viable robot, and so we have to approach it differently.
There is.
How much time do we have left?
Actually, I think we have like a couple of minutes left.
That's good. We can answer like two or three more
questions more. Yeah,
sounds great. Like
we're
great
running,
idea.
Actually, we're running out of year. I can feel it as well.
We're running out of year.
Out of year. Yeah.
You're going to end soon.
San Remus, was any robot inspired by a warplane?
Warplane?
Yeah.
I mean, like a regular, like plane. Griffin, definitely.
Griffin, yeah, that's the one that comes to my mind as well.
Rogatka, I believe, is built from.
You can see a plane fuselage when you look at Griffin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the exact name of the model,
Yes.
but it was
same
definitely inspired by a plane.
here. I'm dead.
I'm dead.
I just got assassinated by Spectre, like in the good old times. Could you please scram? I died here, like, really quickly.
Uh-huh. Alright. The King of All. Good morning, Stan and Tofsla. Good morning, the King of All.
Good morning.
What are you most proud of about this game?
The community.
That was my question. I wanted to answer it. Yeah, so
Sorry.
that's true.
I'm sorry.
I don't know, maybe it's like professional deformation, but I haven't seen a community like that in any other game that I worked with or that I heard about. So you guys are incredible. I mean, I really mean it. The community here, the people from all over the world playing one game, expressing feelings, talking to each other, having their thoughts, during all these years when we had different contests with stories, with romantic stories, Christmas stories, maybe just everyday stories.
It really puts
Each
things
time
into perspective.
I just can't stop thinking about how giant, how multiverse, and how wonderful this community is. So yeah, the community. And you know that the stream shuts down.
Actually, at this particular moment we have to run out of air.
Yeah.
And just
Actually,
no, I have to finish the match.
And we've got like one or two last questions.
Community, I loved you. Please remember us. No, like I remember there was a great Let's Play series about the game called Hitman, and it was by the guy called his nickname was Aussie Gamer, and he made like really hilarious Let's Plays when every time he tried to kill someone, he did like and this was his like basically catchphrase.
JD asks, actually that sounds like a JD from Scrubs. I really like this series, like JD, Brown Bear, Vanilla Bear. Hey Stan, isn't Cossack the name of an old Russian aircraft? I don't. Cossacks, it's a real real name in Russia, like not a name like Stan or Tofsla. Stan and Tofsla are nicknames actually, but Cossack is the name of military forces.
Yes.
Not air military forces, because there were no planes back in the times when Cossacks were first, I don't know, grouped and appeared.
I mean, knowing the way how all the military aircrafts and other military things are named, there is possibly something named Cossack, but unfortunately I'm not very much into war techniques, so I cannot comment on it. But we have one guy.
Yes, I've just thought about him.
We have more than one guy,
actually, I think we have to invite him one day and talk, you know.
It will be hilarious. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, right into this military topic, talk about different kind of weapons, different kind of weapons that inspired war robots, different kind of real names and real war planes, war techs that inspired war robots. It will be wonderful. That's a great idea. Thank you. And
we actually wanted to name one of the guns in the game after him.
Yes, that's
and
true.
We still want. But we won't tell you his name. Not yet.
I think we've got a last question.
We have like I think time to finish my last match.
Yeah.
It will be 7 minutes in the worst or best case. Depends on how you see it.
Really depends.
But maybe it will end faster.
All right. I've seen there were lots of questions then about Titans as well, but about their upgrading. So DriveFed asks, and that's not the one question. I've seen lots of questions like that. Hi, Stan and Tofsla. Hi there. What will be the pilots of the Titans and how to get volutes?
At this point, canonically, we can say that pilot of the Titan is commander, basically you.
Yeah.
As a person.
So on the battlefield there are robots that are controlled by pilots and you give orders to them, but Titan is a freaking huge thing and it's too strategically important to give it to pilots. Regular pilots, like everyday pilots, even legendary pilots. So they have to be controlled by the most epic guys ever, by the commanders.
Yep. So in our head, how it looks when things get really serious, when nothing can help the battle. Commander is like,
all right,
I'm going to, I mean, if no one can do this, I have to do this myself. And like,
Chris Freeman asks, why did you name the tier? I mean, does it mean something?
What? Sorry, I skipped the question.
The question was, why did we name the tier? Does it mean something?
Tier is, do you want to answer this question?
I think you can go if you want.
Okay, Tyr is a Scandinavian god of... I mean, if we talk about Scandinavian mythology, it's hard to pinpoint who is actually, which god does which thing, because they have many roles, but we can say that this dude is some kind of like god of justice or judgment. So this one is... I think if we take Scandinavian mythology, they're like pretty huge scumbags. If we take even the higher ones, like Loki, I mean, he's the biggest scumbag of them all.
You know what? I just thought about it recently, and I came to an idea that the main problem in Greek mythology, ancient Greek mythology, is that Zeus had a very big libido.
Yes.
But the main thing in North mythology, Scandinavian mythology, is that Loki didn't have enough of spanking when he was a kid.
Yeah, pretty much. And if we talk about Tyr in this situation, Tyr is like the nicest guy of them all, even though there are still some caveats depending on what kind of interpretation of
the word nice you have.
The first thing, and the second thing, what kind of stories based on Scandinavian mythology you read. But all in all, he's like the nicest guy of them all. That's why we named the robot that repairs and supports Tyr.
Yeah. Roswell. Hi guys. Hey Ross. Do you have any surprise planned for Christmas? Yes, we do. At least we definitely will have a special Christmas stream. I think we will like have a look at the year that has already passed. We will have a special, like the last year, we will have a special dev edition with our producers that will talk about the upcoming year. What do we want from it? What do we plan for it? So it's gonna be pretty interesting.
We're going to tell you more about our plans for 2020.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff most of you guys have been asking us. So without any further spoiling, start trying to come up with ideas.
Just wait for it, yeah. So it will come in December anyway?
Yes.
Before Christmas?
Yes.
So
around that time.
Yeah, so around a month or even less.
I'm going to die here again.
Subhajit Som. I really hope that I pronounced it correctly. What are your real names?
Whose names?
Our names, I guess.
Our names?
Yes.
I'm Artemy. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, and my name is Stas, or Stanislav in Russian. It's a pretty basic Russian name, I think.
Stas.
Stas, yes. Stas is short for Stanislav. Drew T asks, hey guys, what are you looking forward to the most in the next few months?
I mean, in general or in the game?
I think in general. I think it will be more interesting to answer in general. Well, in the game, we are definitely waiting for Titans to come.
Definitely.
I'm waiting at least. It will be interesting, and I'm really excited to see how Titans will reshape the battlefield. In general, I'm waiting for my trip to London. I'm waiting for Christmas. Not just Christmas, because here in Russia we don't really celebrate Christmas, but we celebrate New Year, like very vast. And I'm really waiting for it. I've got some plans with my friends and with my family, and I want to spend some time with them. Maybe just have time to sit down, relax, and read a little bit, see a movie.
It's actually a great mindset you have. That, I mean, meeting your family, meeting your friends is like the most important thing. I'm actually starting to turn this into a philosophy channel all over.
Yeah, that's true. All right, thank you Guys, thank you for being with us today. We were in our new dev stream. It was some kind of a chill answer question stream. And you know what? I really loved. There were lots of cool questions. I was feeling like we have a lovely conversation, lovely chat, not just...
I enjoyed it quite a bit, actually.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was
when
it was funny sometimes. It was very interesting sometimes. There were quite good ideas and insights that we can get.
And the question about Olga Minina,
yeah.
we're not going to talk about
One
this.
of things you will think before going to bed.
Yes.
So, thank you. That's the studio we will be streaming from in the nearest future, and our special Christmas dev stream will be here as well. Maybe in... yeah, here as well, definitely. I was just thinking maybe we will have some kind of a surprise, yeah, but part of it will be here, definitely. So thank you. The guys that will receive Leech will receive them next week.
Around that.
Yeah, around that.
Around that time.
And alright, have a nice weekend. Take care.
Yeah, guys, thank you for your all. Thank you, guys, for all your questions. And keep them coming because we really want to have these dev streams as a place where we can have some like proper, constant conversation. And you ask us questions, we answer your questions, and maybe you even talk between each other. So let's try to finish with this like ID spamming thing and try to actually talk for real, because what's the point otherwise?
Yep, so stay fresh, stay tuned, see you, bye-bye.
I'm going to show you a lot of stuff in the upcoming months, so be prepared.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.